One of my most memorable, well-known calls for service occurred while I was working at the Phoenix Convention Center in May of 2017. I was working for Phoenix Fan Fusion. It's a costume and comic festival. Tens of thousands of people come to this convention and enjoy pop culture media. It's one of the largest in America, and I'm proud to say it's one of the safest. And I've been working with them for several years at this point, and we were patrolling the convention. You know, I have an affinity for comic books. I've been going to comic book conventions for, at that point, over 15 years. And my expertise is, you know, recognizing different costumed characters, understanding some of the crowd management issues that come along with comic book conventions. And this person stands out to me. He's dressed as the Punisher. What draws my attention is the elaborate prop replica weapons that he has in his possession that all appear to be credentialed, okay to be inside the convention center. You know, I noticed the style of dress. He's a very large man, and he had black face paint on and a red bandana, and but he didn't pay me any attention. And I continue along my way, taking note of other costumed characters that are milling around the convention center. A few hours later, we're back in a different part of the convention center, and radio asks us to switch over to the emergency channel to manage a subject with a gun call. And normally that call is stormtroopers walking around with blasters or Deadpool swinging samurai swords, where it's all okay.
I have a friend on Facebook who has, on and off over the years, had this guy who's kind of stalked her. Well, he's blowing up her instant messenger with photos of him, and it appears he's at a comic convention that's going on at the convention center.
Yes.
And the photo that he sent, he absolutely has a real firearm on him, and he's threatening to kill police officers.
And he's at the convention center.
It sure as hell looks like it, from what I can tell.
And the first information that we're getting is a person dressed like the Punisher, 300 pounds, black face paint, red bandana, and he's taking pictures of police and security, and he wants to kill them. And I immediately knew who that person was. And we made contact with him. We were able to safely take him into custody after a brief struggle. And you know, he was a little upset, and I told him it was going to be okay. And what we discovered then is a large armament that he came into the convention center with. He gets taken into custody, taken to police headquarters, and interviewed. And the show goes on. We didn't understand what we were about to learn, what this person was planning on doing. Jason David Frank, he's the Green Ranger, and he was a first-time guest of the show, and he had such an amazing crowd following. And his style of celebrity, he was really engaging with his fans, and what he told everybody that he's going to stay at the show until he signs every autograph for everybody waiting in a line for him. So now, hours later, it's about 9 o'clock at night, the convention center's closed, and Jason still has 100 fans in line waiting to meet him. And as I'm standing there watching the crowd just really enjoy their experience with Jason, I get a phone call from the investigations lieutenant. And then she informs me that the person that we arrested that day was there to assassinate him. He was planning on, you know, creating a mass casualty event. He had planned for months this plot, and we were fortunate enough to be able to intervene. And you know, what we learned is, hey, he was seated right outside the room where he was about to make a public appearance in a few hours, and he was going to walk in and, you know, do some evil. From that point on, conventions as we know it, security practices have changed.
You can see the impact it made. Air 15 here capturing the long lines of fans just trying to get inside.
First of all, I'm very grateful to the Phoenix Police Department for their brave and outstanding efforts, which avoided a terrible tragedy. This incident is an eye-opening situation to increase and add more securities at all Comic-Cons around the world.
And what's awesome is Phoenix Fan Fusion is still the safest comic book convention in America. And one byproduct of this event is my friendship that I developed with Jason. You know, he told me I saved his life. And he said, I love you. And I said I loved him back. I never realized since his passing is how much you mean to some people. You never realize the magnitude, the impact that you have in a person's life, and vice versa. And you know, Jason was a friend to the end. That's my most memorable call.